Greetings and welcome to our YouTube live session here at the Disability Digest. We have our cameras off today, in part with the theme of mystery shopping. I'm going to teach everybody today how you can shop, get paid, supplement your income, do this while getting your benefits and while you're on benefits. So we have a special guest speaker here today. So welcome everybody. Vince, Earl, Luana, great to have you here. Also, as part of today's event, we will answer any questions you have, ideally targeted towards this mystery shopping topic that we have here, because we have an expert in the house. So that's what we have on tap for you. And if you would, as I reveal your name, would you turn your camera on, Miss Gemna? Now this is a mystery shopping look, right? What are you wearing today, Jam?
Wearing glasses, of course.
Awesome. Awesome. And
something like that.
Oh, and you have your purse with you. Yes. And I have not mystery shopped, so I have what I would wear if I went mystery shopping in Vermont, which is a felt hat, flannel shirt, because everybody in Vermont wears flannel. I would blend in. And if I thought somebody was coming that knew me, I would mask up. So now we're going to bring in the professional on this topic, and May is our guest today. And it's not really May or June or July, but May is using May as her alias, and is going to teach us all about mystery shopping today. So May, turn your camera on. There we go.
Hi.
Awesome. Welcome. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes. So here at the Disability Digest, we've been working with people here. There's 191,000 people here, and we teach them how to get their benefits, keep them and maximize them. And it's just been a plethora of questions about what can I do for a side hustle? So we're excited to have you with us. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. This is what we have on tap today. So the first thing is I have a trivia event for those of you that are in the crowd. And if you don't have your volume turned up, you want to turn your volume up a little bit so that you can get this soundbite if you like. Here's the deal. If you can name this band, the first one to do it, you're going to get a $25 gift card, right? And the theme of this is shopping, of course, but what we're looking for is what is the artist or the band that produced them. First one that gets it right, we're going to have you send your information to support at the Disability Digest, and we will send you an Amazon gift card. So on three, get ready. 1, 2, 3.
Are you looking forward? Now we want some more. We're SHOPPING, we're shopping.
There it is, folks. If you were born in the 60s and clubbing in the 80s, you might know that song. So enter it in the chat, and Jam will give you directions. I will actually follow it too and see if anybody got it right. All right. That was kind of fun. I hope somebody did. Okay, May, let's start with this. Can you tell us about your story? I know we're not revealing your real name in that, but like a generic version of, you know, something happened, you had a change in your life, you had a career, you had to make some adjustments. Oh, your microphone's muted.
Sorry.
No worries.
Sure. So I met someone at a cookout. She was a mystery shopper, and we exchanged numbers, and she was going to give me some tips. Never got a response from her. And so, time went by. Few years later, I found myself unemployed and tight on money. And I thought about mystery shopping. But I didn't have anyone to reach out to, so I went out on the internet, which I do not advise to people. This was 20 years ago, not now. The internet is not always safe. So I got lucky. After a couple weeks of searching, I found a couple places and I started monitoring. One day, my favorite supermarket, and I was just shocked. My market that I go to weekly was in the database, same address. So I
Really?
said, this is it. I've got to take this job. And so I did. And it was for $25. I got my groceries, came home, I got the check 45 days later. Okay, that's one thing about mystery shopping. You don't get paid right away. But I was so excited by when I got that $25 check to know that the food was totally reimbursable. I said, I got to try this again. And it becomes addictive, actually. But on my second try, I went to 4 supermarkets in one day and split my grocery list up and got everything I needed. So it was great. From there, it just took off with me. So eventually, I was mystery shopping. Then I went back to work. And so I would only do it maybe once a week on date nights with my husband. I went back to doing it casually. But all of a sudden, I had an accident. That accident left me wheelchair bound for over a year with multiple surgeries. So, I said, well, I don't know how I'm going to do mystery shopping. I can't get out there anymore. And then this bright idea came to me that I always had people asking, how do you do it? I always had curious people around me. So I started teaching it at my community center, and it just took off from there. So that's how I got started. And actually, while I was teaching, I got approached by a mystery shopping company that I had worked for, and they asked me to come on board as an employee to learn how to be an editor. That's one of the positions there. I would check the reports that the shoppers would submit. So I wound up working on the inside of 2 mystery shopping companies. And that's what makes me a great trainer, because I've experienced both worlds. I've been a shopper and I've worked inside of these companies.
Okay. So I want to see if I get this right. You did this before you had an accident and had to make a career change?
Right.
Right. And then you went and you went through the disability approval process?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And,
I have mobility issues now, so
okay.
I couldn't get out there like I used to.
Great. Great. Okay. Well, not great that you had to go through the process, but just helping me understand it. And so one thing, when you went back, when you're talking about getting your groceries reimbursed, are you saying that you would go shopping, you would get paid to shop? And are your groceries also paid for?
Yes. They tell you in advance how much your allowance would be, and they give you a list of things that they would like you to do. So basically, mystery shopping is, it entails visiting a business, acting like a customer, evaluating the service, and filling out the report. It's just that simple. So you're basically an actor when you're there.
All right. So how did Jam and I do with our mystery shopping outfits? Are we close, or have we overdone it?
You're close. A lot of times I just want to blend in with the customers. I don't want a lot of people to know who I am sometimes. Because of the nature of the business. It's very quiet. A lot of mystery shoppers do not share. And it's an industry where even when you learn the tricks of the trade, you don't kiss and tell per se.
Right.
You just keep it to yourself.
So May, if you're mystery shopping in your local market that you go to, I mean, is that good? Is that bad? What if somebody sees you? Is there a problem with that? Or is that why you're dressed incognito?
Believe it or not, I've been shopping for over 10 years, and I've only run into a friend one time while I was on assignment. So it rarely happens, even though I was shopping in my own neighborhood. Isn't that odd?
Yeah, that is odd. Yeah,
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 it is.
okay. So we talked a little bit about what somebody does as a mystery shopper. Can you give us a little more detail? Like, what do you get? Like a checklist of things to do when you're in there?
Yes, they give you some guidelines ahead of time so that you can study and prepare. And then they tell you what the dollar value of the assignment is. And that way you can assess whether it's right for you or if you want to pass on it or look for something else.
Okay.
Once you learn the guidelines, and hopefully it's in an industry you already know. That's what I tell people. Pick something you already do, like the supermarket. That way it's easy. Let me give you an example. Whenever you're at the supermarket, you're probably subconsciously already evaluating the service. Okay. You're noticing if the shelves are empty, right? You're noticing if the man in the deli counter is slicing your lunch meat with gloves on. You notice if the cashier has her name tag on, or if she asks you for your loyalty card, or does she check under the carriage for groceries. So these are all things we already do. However, if you mystery shop, you can be paid for it. And you can be a better customer because quality is important to these businesses. They do this because they want feedback about the service that their employees are providing.
All right. So we've talked about retail, grocery stores, and I expect other retail. What other common categories are there that people could mystery shop in?
Just about everything, and I really mean that. I'm not exaggerating. I have gone to gas stations and pumped gas for an assignment. I have gone to hospital cafeterias to eat lunch because the hospital wanted to evaluate. I was once paid by a church to go to their church service.
Interesting.
Yes, I have been to liquor stores. I had to go to a cemetery once to inquire about a plot. I've been to restaurants. Those are the obvious ones, the hotels, bars, golf courses, beauty salon, even my eyeglass prescription. All of these things are services in which mystery shoppers can obtain these assignments and get money towards the purchases, sometimes full reimbursement. So it just varies. It depends on what you like. Most mystery shoppers have a niche, so they only do certain types of industries.
Yeah. What if somebody is in a rural environment? Like I did some recon before this. I mean, there's 600 and something thousand people here in Vermont, and there's plenty of opportunities to mystery shop. But I mean, can you speak to that? Is there like a threshold or?
Yes. So, of course, if you live near a commercial district, it's going to be buzzing with activity. I literally have had 5, 6 shops in a day and gone from one block to block to block to different businesses. That's not always convenient for most people.
Right.
Since COVID, things have gotten even better. There are web shops available that you can do from home. There are also telephone shops. And there are shops where you can have home service come to your home. For instance, I just had some guy come here a couple weeks ago. It was a lawn service. He picked up my branches and cleaned my yard, took care of all the leaves, hauled them away. It was a mystery shop assignment. So sometimes it could happen in home or it could happen out on the street. It's up to you.
Okay, so anybody could do this from anywhere.
Yes.
Neat. All right. let's talk about experience. Like you mentioned something about reporting. If you're looking and you're viewing these different activities, May, what do you do with that information and how does that relate to possible skills that are required for this?
So there's a wide variety of people that do this. Some people are between jobs. Some people just like to supplement jobs. Some
Mhm.
people just like to eat out. So anybody can really do this. There is no requirement on education level. You just need to be a decent shopper. One of the things that I look for, because I work for a mystery shopping company, when I'm assigning jobs, I want people who are reliable. I want people who can communicate well and remember details and follow up.
Yeah.
And then in terms of supplies, I literally started with nothing. Um, if you have access to email and either a computer or a cell phone, I have shoppers who do their reports on cell phones. Believe it or not, I've had 1 or 2 shoppers do their reports at the library because they didn't have a computer. So you really don't need money for resources, and you don't need any special training or education. Even
Right.
though I will say there is a certification program for this, it is not required.
Okay. So you could use just a simple like pad of paper and, right?
Yes.
But then you would need to digitally transmit your information via cell phone, email, etc., right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, interesting. So the technological barriers doesn't sound like it's steep. It's pretty basic. I would expect, like for our audience, if they could find their way here on YouTube and they're members at the Disability Digest, they have some fundamental ability to navigate. So, okay.
Right.
All right.
Mhm.
So what about, did any of your previous experience or education or anything like that give you an edge? Or if anybody has anything unique for, like, maybe they've got administrative skills, would that give them an edge?
Well, anything is a bonus. Let's say you worked in customer service, or
Mhm.
a person with that experience is going to recognize good and bad service a little easier than the average person.
Mhm.
So I know some people who mystery shop just because they're practicing to be actors, or they have a future career in management and they just want to see what real customer service is about. So there's a variety of reasons why you would do it.
Okay. All right. Now let's get into like the real, like, burning question for our audience. Most people out there, and actually, Jim, did you do the survey of how many people are approved? What's that look like right now? Oh, you're muted.
Okay, we have 21 votes, approved 67%, 33% have applied and waiting for decision.
Okay, great. So 67% approved. And welcome for those of you that are joining us in progress, learning how to supplement your income, mystery shopping with our guest May. We're going to take some questions at the end. So once again, thanks for joining. So most of the people, well, I shouldn't say, in this particular group, 67% have been approved for disability. So if they're going through the approval process, there's income limitations. If they're approved, there's income limitations. Point is, most people here have limitations. And you'd mentioned something about reliability. And where I'm going with this is, like, what is the feasibility for somebody that's got a few hours a day, but maybe they can't go one day, but they can go the next day, for disability applicants and recipients? What could you share about that, May?
There are many companies that when they give out the assignments, they give you a date range. So it's not like they're not going to say be there at Monday at 12 o'clock. Okay, they're going to give you a range. For
Okay.
my shoppers, I give them a week. Okay, and I'm sorry I can't share with you who I work for because I sign confidentiality agreements, but
Sure.
I give them a week. And even if they call me at the end of the week and say, hey, I had a bad week, or hey, there was a snowstorm here,
Mhm.
I give them an extension of time. It's no problem. As long as you are communicating with the company You can't turn into a ghost and just disappear. You have to communicate. Then they appreciate that. It's no
Mhm.
problem. Now, to share with you, I go to therapy and I run around and I have a lot of things I have to do. And the reason I like mystery shopping is because it's home based and it's flexible. There are no set hours. You pick your own schedule. You can do 2 hours one week and 20 hours another week. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So it's flexible. So that would work for somebody that is, has conditions and their schedule is not predictable. That could work real good. Like, how many hours a day would you say could you, if somebody wanted to earn, let's say, like in the $700 a month range? Can you break that down? I understand what Indeed put for like an hourly and all that, which is attractive, but what could you share about that? What would be a plan?
Okay, so it's going to vary based on the industry you choose. Some industries pay well, some pay small amounts, but you have to go with industries where you're comfortable. To give you an example, when I was unemployed and I really, really needed to hustle with this thing, I would leave the house at 10 o'clock after the rush hour, and I would stay out till about 3 and come home before the kids got back home. So I was doing maybe averaging 4 to 5 shops a day.
Okay.
The nice thing is you get free stuff. The drawback is you wait 30 to 40 days to get reimbursed.
Right.
And also when you come home with your goodies, you still have to write the report. So writing 4 or 5 reports in a night is quite a bit of a hustle. But I did that for a while when I was unemployed. I had to. And I was making, I would say, one month I made up to $2,000 in a month.
Okay. All right. So you factor in the time of shopping, the travel, the expense and that, right? And then the report writing is all included there. Indeed has the mystery shopping at 20, I'm just pulling it up here, $22.73 an hour is what they say the average mystery shopper makes. You think
$22.73
an hour,
in a year?
An hour, $22.73 an hour.
Interesting.
Yeah. So again, it's the industry. I would expect it's how proficient somebody is, their ability to write the reports and get that information in. It's like anything else. How good are you at it? Okay.
Right. The more rapport that you build with these people, the easier the jobs come to you. When they're in a desperate situation, maybe something needs to be closed out by the end of the month or end of year.
Yep.
They will offer bonuses and it's easy to negotiate.
Yep. I just want to give a shout out to everybody listening out there. There's a few things that are unique about this opportunity. One is you earn cash, which is what most people want when they're working. And at the time of this recording, you can earn up to $970 a month and have zero impact on your benefits. So that part's good. The second part is, and what May is explaining, for the services that you are, could I use the word bartering for? Like when you go to the grocery store and you have an allowance for food, that's included, but that's gifted. That's not income.
Right.
So you have to take that into consideration because you have an income limit, but you're getting things that cost money as a gift, which doesn't count towards the allowable amount. That's what, in my opinion, makes this super attractive to do. Good. So do you see like certain types of people that do better at this than others? Is there any like demographics with age or gender or types?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Everybody does it. My husband has done it. He likes auto repair. So that's what he does. He babies his car. So he likes to get his oil changes and brakes checked and so forth. He takes care of it with mystery shopping. I've taught my brother, he's a movie buff. So he uses it with movies and entertainment.
Right.
My son, who's very young, he liked to go to various gyms and work out and order pizza. So everybody has a niche, but once you find out what that is, you just repeat it over and over and over, and
Right.
you find a way to work through it. And by the way, I also want to mention, if you know a second language, it's very profitable to be a mystery shopper. They pay good money for people who can speak other languages. Mystery shopping is all over the world. It is bigger in some countries than it is here.
What do you think of that, Gemna? Huh?
Super interested.
Do you have your category picked out yet?
Kinda. Where do I sign up?
I'm thinking food for, yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah,
something
food.
food would be fun to do. Right, right. What about, let's get into some of the get started steps, and then Jim, if there's any questions relative to mystery shopping, then we'll hit that before we go into the next steps where people can learn more. So
Yes.
how does somebody get started? And more specifically, in the getting started process, I want to rephrase my question. What is the learning curve? If somebody started mystery shopping today and they're like Jam and I who haven't done it, how long is it going to take us to get up and going?
So the way in which you get started is definitely not cruising on the internet like I did. What you want to do is go to a site called MSPA, and we're going to leave you that information in the link below, right, Brian? At some point, you're going to provide that so that you'll have a direct link to them. On that site, they have a search utility, but it's very hard to find. That's why I gave Brian the link.
Okay.
In that utility, it has all the companies that have been vetted and ensured for fair practices. The MSPA is a governing entity over the entire industry. So they regulate things and try to make sure that things are safe for us. So it's a great place to go. They host conferences and conventions for mystery shoppers. So there are plenty of ways to learn. There are forums, certifications, all types of things.
I'm going to pull up the sheet that you gave me and see if is it on this page?
Yes, that is my website. It's a link tree. And if you scroll all the way down, almost near the bottom, there is a button that says MSPA. It's next to the bottom there with blue. So yes, by clicking on that link, it will take you to the table and you'll see there's hundreds of companies and it's broken down by categories. So you can find what you like. But I'm telling you now, you're going to be best at choosing things that you either like a lot or that you already do. Just like with my husband, he loved cars. So he chose activities centered around his cars. Yes, that's the page. If you scroll down, you'll see there's a search utility.
Oh yeah, you can pick.
Those are all the topics. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of companies out there that do this.
Right.
Okay. Now, sometimes when I teach, the students ask me, they'll say, well, that's great, but we want to know what companies you shop at, or we want to know how you do it or whatever. So I did also put a link out there to my favorite site, and you'll see that as well. So if you want to choose that one, it's fine. If not, you go to another one. I also have tools out there that mystery shoppers use. Grammar checking is very important. So I put that out there, as well as my password management tools. Anything that I use, I put it out there.
Okay, grammar checking. Yeah, that's my Achilles heel. All right, so find something that and that you want to do like your category on that site. Don't do a rogue search. It's like, going through the disability approval process, find a trusted source, hopefully here.
Right.
Or trying to get your benefits maximized. Got it. All right. So
And-
once you find that, one thing I'd like to learn more about is like your coaching and like how you help people. If somebody finds something that they want to do, do you have like availability for coaching, or how's that?
Yes, I do. I have one-on-one coaching available, and I do it by Zoom these days. I used to do it in person at the community center, but actually I can reach more people these days. I also, I have an Instagram site, which is reachable through that page you were just on, where they can post a question. They could DM me, which is direct message, or they can email me. My email is on that page as well. If you'd like to know about things coming in the future, I have a subscription button in the top right corner of that page, and you can subscribe, and I'll always keep you notified about things that are coming up, conventions, forums, things like that. But I don't inundate people with a lot of newsletters, just the important stuff.
Okay, so you provide one-on-one coaching. Would it be something like this? Correct me if the flow is wrong. They find out some information on the first site that you showed us, and then they could come to you and say, hey, man, I want some help to get kickstarted on this. And you could go through the coaching options with them.
Right. Some people have anxiety about doing their first assignment. When I talk to people in my community, I let them shadow me. They would come with me so they could see me do it. But unfortunately, when you do it over the internet, you can't do it that way. But I'm here to coach anybody who needs help. And I would say, if you're uneasy about it, take a $2 assignment, just a telephone call. Telephone jobs last 5 minutes on the phone. The report is no longer than 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, it may pay between $2 and $5, but it's a great way to just sort of dip your feet in it, see if you like it, and if you feel like it's worth it.
Very cool. Okay. So somebody could go to the site, they could find their own thing, they could do it on their own, or if they want some help, and we'll put that link back up at the end and walk individuals through the contact, and then put it in the chat and around the replay. This has been great. All right, Jam, are there any questions about mystery shopping out there that we can address with May while we have her?
Yeah. This is from Jiga. How do you find reputable companies to give you assignments to shop, and which you guys answered? And do you have to pay these companies to become a shopper? What kind of budget do you need to start shopping to receive pay plus reimbursement?
Okay, there were multiple questions here, so hopefully I won't forget one. First of all, you never pay a mystery shopping company. Okay, there are some people who are really scamming these days in the emails. Do not respond to that. Go directly to the MSPA and find yourself a good link that is safe. Or message me and ask me, I found this. Is this a real assignment? Okay, so you never have to pay. Never. The other question was?
I have a question relative to the question, okay? When you go to that website, I forget the whole acronym.
MSPA.
Are you assured that you're going to get a good reputable deal, or are there telltale signs that even if you go through there might be a bad deal? Am I making sense?
Okay, so this industry lately, because of the scams, has really come up to speed on compliance. Regulatory procedures are getting tighter and tighter. These companies have to comply in order to get a seal of approval. It's almost like being part of the FDA. There is a seal that these companies have to obtain to be on that list.
Okay.
And I'm sure they check in with them or monitor them in some way. I've never had anybody have any problems with these companies. I trust the list completely. Of course, every once in a while, you might have one of those companies just go belly up or something. I don't know. But yes,
that
the
happens.
list is very good.
I got it. So they don't want to be messing around because they could get booted off the list, right?
Right.
Okay, and plus somebody could contact you. All right. Let's go back through that question again, because I'm with you, May. There was a bunch in there. Is there any pieces that were missed, Jim?
What kind of budget do you need to start shopping to receive pay plus reimbursement?
Okay, so you really need nothing at all. Now, because my first shops were for food, I need money for food. But the way I justified that was I was going to that market anyway once a week. So I was going to buy the food regardless. They didn't tell me what products I needed to buy. I bought what was on my home grocery list.
Yes.
Now, I had a person that I taught not too long ago, and she had no money. She was unemployed, just like I was. And I have a soft spot for people like that because this really got me through unemployment. But I taught her how to go to car dealerships. I found out that she liked cars, so that's what she did. Day after day, she would test drive cars. That requires no money except the transportation to get to the dealership, which wasn't too far away for her. And then it just took off for her. She liked it. In some of the bigger cities, there are auto parks where all your dealerships tend to cluster on one side of town, along one commercial strip. And she would literally go in and out of these places and test drive cars. So you have to find your own niche. She did that completely with no money. And those test drives, depending on the dealership, were paying about $25 a piece. And some of the foreign car dealerships were doubling that amount.
All right. So $50, 25 to $50 to test drive a car. All right. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we nailed that question, eh?
Yeah. And follow up, what's your reasonable expectation for weekly or monthly income starting out and for a seasoned shopper?
So for a seasoned shopper, I think I mentioned at one point I had a peak where I made $2,000 a month, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
On top of that, I probably brought home hundreds of dollars worth of free items, which are invaluable if you want to add that on top of the 2,000. It's really strictly up to you and how much effort you put into it. Some weeks I don't work at all, and then other weeks I do. Or if I go on vacation, I'm trying to integrate it with my vacation while I'm away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, it would be interesting to know what the total value of everything that, other than the cash, right? You ever think
Yes.
about that? Maybe I should have tracked that.
Yes. It's a lot. It's a lot. I just can't tell you enough. It is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally went to get my eye prescription updated and got a $400 pair of eyeglasses not too long ago.
Wow.
Wow.
All right,
So
Jim, what's next?
Okay. Are shoppers employees or 1099?
That's a great question.
Mhm.
You receive a 1099, you are an independent contractor. So you run it like it's your own small business. And that's what makes it so flexible. You can take the job, you can negotiate the price, you can decline, you can do what you want because it's your business. And the great part about being an independent contractor is some of my expenses can be written off with my taxes.
That's right. That's right. And then likely for individuals that already have items like your cell phone, or your computer or your internet, these all become tax deductions. Cool. Some
That's
good
right.
questions.
Right. How do you get started? Are you hiring right now?
Okay, what was that again, Jim? How do you get started and what?
Are you hiring right now?
Mystery shopping jobs are always out there. If I look into a database right now, there's a gazillion of them. As a matter of fact, because we are running up on the holidays, the activity is buzzing. So yes, the companies are hiring right now. I wish that I could share with you where I work, but I cannot. My manager does know that I teach it. I mean, she's aware of what I do, but I don't mix my clients or my business with my own personal business.
Part of the mystery.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, this one's from Ronald. How does one find out how to become a mystery shopper? I would love to do that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
at the end, we're gonna provide a website with a contact form where you can get in touch with May and, right, she'll give you a kickstart.
Mhm.
And if you have Instagram, follow the Instagram site. If you have it, everybody doesn't.
Right.
I post out there regularly. I put tips out there and all kinds of
Okay.
things.
Yeah, if they don't, you can get them turned on to it after they meet you, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Jen, you're doing great.
thank you. Ronald Smith, how does one find out how to become, oh, sorry. This was from Luana Lawson. Would mystery shopping in the store be considered substantial gainful activity or you are on disability?
I'll address that one if you don't
Okay.
mind. So your SGA is, yes, if you're shopping, then it would be, because it's the time that you invest into getting money out. So the limit on your hours is 20 a week for SGA. And the income is 970, soon to be changing for next year. Watch our other videos to learn more. So yeah.
Ronald, donating plasma can be good option as well.
All right.
Yeah. Also, BJ Pergola won our little game earlier.
He did?
Yeah,
All right. And
Betty,
what did he put in for the name for the artist?
Pet Shop Boys.
Yes.
Ah.
Congrats, Betty.
Love it. All right. So we have contact information.
That's
Yep.
good.
Okay, good. Congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah.
and here's John, disabled officer. Hi guys. Love that hat, Brian. Love the sunglasses, Jam. Thank you. You two are awesome. Thank you for your help.
You bet. Good, good. All right. Unless there's any other questions, I want to wrap up in respect of May's time, show everybody
Yes.
what to do for the next steps. Okay, good.
Okay, here's another one. Can you get started without a car or can you work as a team with a friend who has a car?
Yes, you can get started without a car, or you can just do it at home. There are assignments on the bus system in my city, and all you do is ride the bus and make comments about seating and behavior and things like that. So you would be surprised at the variety of assignments.
Yep. Okay, that's a good question. And you can do them from home. I don't know if you mentioned that in that, but yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So we're as we wrap up here and you're looking at the screen, I'm going to put this link in the chat for those of you that are here live, the 207 of you, thank you for taking time out of your day. And the two-step get started process is down here. There is second from the bottom, the link where you can go and search and look at different companies and offers. That was the one step that May suggested. And then also the second from the top, I believe this is where, yes, you can enter your information and get in touch with May for get started coaching tips and learn how you could be assisted through the get starting process. So I will put this in the chat for everybody. Good. I'm getting a little frazzled here on multitasking. Okay, I've got it. Last is I think this has been spectacular. I really am
Yeah.
grateful, May, for taking the time and your experience.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah, so we're super grateful for that. And for those of you that are listening out there, again, thank you for attending. If you're new here, welcome. We encourage you to subscribe. If you know somebody that might be interested in shopping or needs to supplement their income, they don't need to be a disability applicant or recipient, right? They could be people like
Right.
Jim and I that are going to be doing this. So
Yeah.
so share the love, push the video out there to others and give them a shot at doing that. And if you're new here, we'd love to have you join us as a member. We can help you get your benefits approved fast, keep them and maximize. There will also be a link around this video. Jim, again, as always, thank you for your help. May, appreciate it.
You're
I'm
welcome.
gonna
Thank you,
close-
Thank
May.
you. I appreciate you having me, and best wishes to everyone. And, even if you don't need mystery shopping now, just remember it, because you never know, if you fall upon hard times, it could really help you to make it through those challenges.
Right, exactly.